So we're gonna walk up to a different school actually. So the one was at ELC yesterday. The other one today is going to be a whatchamacallit, elementary. There's no clouds in the sky. I should have wore a hat today. So can't see a thing. But I looked up the pathway because I knew there was a path that led up to the other school. So it's not that far. But I can never find. Let me flip this around. I can never find the path, but I looked up I looked up on Google Maps where I'd have to travel because I've driven past. So like all the neighborhoods I walk around, all these streets, there's one that between two houses has a pathway that leads up to the local elementary. Which would be where my kids would go if I had any. Morning. Good, how are you? Good.
You live somewhere? Where you live at?
I live right over there on
That's what I was
Niagara.
gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah, where the
Walking
Nismo was. Yeah.
today, huh?
Yeah.
Where do you do that? You doing new stuff, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, so I've seen that guy a couple times now when my roommate lived up there, or lived at my house. Has a red Nismo. So had been at least a year ago at this point. But I was out there mowing or something, and he stopped and I was asking about it. So we talked then, and I just see him occasionally. So I mean, he lives right up there, so he has a couple of kids, so he'll go with walks with them. But flip this back around. He's a real nice guy. I guess he lived at a different house in the neighborhood and then moved to somewhere else. Is what he's telling me. But it's nice to talk to a neighbor, I suppose. It's funny he hasn't seen me out walking yet. I guess I usually walk at night. That's been the most consistent. The mornings I haven't been nearly as much, especially on the weekends. Hasn't really been a purpose. What's up, sir? It's quite bright, so it's hard for me to see the chat, so it might be delayed if you put something in there. But we're walking up to the local elementary school, which is something you can do on the weekends. There won't be anyone there, which is ideal. But what's up? So I guess today the goal is to get to probably five or 6,000 steps before I get back to the house. Maybe more. It's pretty warm out already, but I should wear my hat. There's some clouds you can kind of see, but not a ton. And I'm quite not built for the sun. That's a weird question to ask. But as far as I know, I am. Unless I'm being followed by someone, but no, I just thought to neighbor guy that lives up the street from my house, and he's real nice. We've talked a couple times. It's a very weird thing to say about the dentist, but no, I'm not gonna pray for people because that stuff doesn't do anything. I guess you should tell your cousin to brush his teeth better. All right. So Google Maps should not have lied to me. This is the road that I need to turn up. So I've driven past it, so I know it exists. But like how there's all these houses and stuff, there's a street or a pathway that connects up to the elementary school. So we need to make sure that I don't miss it. Although I feel like I just haven't walked up far enough to it. Maybe I haven't seen it when it was dark out, but now it's light. I can't possibly miss it. It's funny, I walked up this street yesterday too and didn't see it. But trying. Because I know generally I know I'm generally walking the correct direction. I guess I just didn't go far enough the previous time. Maybe Google Maps isn't updated. But I feel like if I keep walking, I'll get up to it. People are talking quite loud. Flip this around. Some kids on bikes. The only reason you gotta see my ugly face is if I'm trying not to film other people. Adults I don't worry as much about, but it's good to respect privacy when you can. Yeah, I certainly didn't walk this far up yesterday. I guess that was the mistake I made. I should have kept going. I turned and my comprehension of distances from when I'm walking versus driving is not quite up to par yet. So I need to improve that a bit, I suppose. But I know walking up to the early learning center and back gave me about 5,000 steps, minus whatever I already had when I woke up. So just slightly under, but wasn't, I guess, directly because I walked a different way coming back, I think. Where are we at now? 1460. So really not that far at all. Yeah, it's right up here. Yeah, so I really just didn't remember that it was this far. So I see the school zone sign. Which I've been to that elementary once when I did DoorDash back in the day. Actually to deliver to a teacher. And I believe it was in the summer. But I guess this is the way I'd walk if I worked there. I probably would have applied there, to be honest, if they would have had a phys ed job at some point, because I live so darn close. So it's got to be between one of these houses, probably. I see it up there. And it's connected to a fence. I'm walking up to the neighborhood elementary school and back. Just going on a morning walk, but I've driven past this like it's a path. And you see I'm walking in like a neighborhood now. It's like a path that you can walk up to the building. And I've only been to that building once to do DoorDash, and it's a nice building, but it's where like the neighborhood I live in feeds up to for elementary kids. Flip this around. This around. And there's not really a particular reason, just a location to walk to and back. I think it's right up here. Once I trip. I've always been curious what the path was like to walk up. And now I get to know. Flip back this way for a second. Let's really look at the sidewalk. Walk in the field. So this is where they probably do field day. Similar to the ELC, they have a nice field next to the building, except there's no old field or baseball stuff. Oh. It's really beautiful out here, though. It's kind of crazy nice. But Guess I'll have to remember if I do walk up here in the summer that you gotta wait. I would imagine my school lets out the same time theirs does. I don't imagine that there would be school still occurring when my school's out on summer. Most schools in the area, they let out about the same day or two. I feel like the one I teach at lets out like a day after a lot of other schools, but a lot of them are. I'd be shocked if there was a school that went past next week. It was our last day with kids is Thursday, and then Friday is a half day. Really, Thursday is kind of a half day as well. So they leave an hour early, so it's not really even a real day. Is there a path back here? It kind of looks like it, but I don't know if this is just because it's it certainly looks like a path, because like down there it looks like just drainage. It's very beautiful out here, but we'll cut over this. So this would be a place I could go. I would imagine that this is very terrible to walk in if it's raining all down there, but there's a rabbit. We're following the rabbit. Not into the bushes though. So this is definitely a path of some sort, so that's pretty cool. Alright, well I'll have to remember this because walking up to here, I have a little wooden path. I really didn't even know this was, ran into a branch, but I didn't even know this all was out here. I wonder if this is all considered part of the school or not. Because my school, we have a little nature thing out behind it. It's not as in-depth as all this is, though. We got a basketball up. Why is there a basketball hoop over there? We'll go look at that. Or we can go look at the... I wonder if someone just threw that away. But this is, I think, the creek that goes through all the neighborhood. Someone definitely rides. You can kind of see how it dips down and goes up. I kind of want to walk down and up there, but we'll come back here in a second. We'll go look at the basketball hoop. Or actually, up on that tree, someone wrote something up there. I have long pants on, so I can kind of cut through stuff without worrying about. This is really neat, though. I'm so glad I actually came out. I did not even know that this was all out here. So I found a free basketball hoop. I just have to carry it back to my house. That's actually hilarious. Well, and ironically, it would be nice to have that in my gym because it lowers, but I ain't about trying to. I'm actually curious how someone got it all the way out here. They'd have to drag it. There's not really a good way to drive it out here. You gotta carefully walk down. It's hard to tell on video. It's very steep. But this is parallel to that other way. So I'm guessing when it rains really hard that this becomes a drainage pathway, like all down there. But it looks like someone was riding their bike. So yeah, it's wet still here. So I would imagine that this is not the best, unless you had a really nice bike to get up and down. Still really cool though. Looks like that's another drainage thing. It's a very white tree. You see up there. There's something right on a tree back where I was coming from, but I guess we can look at it when we walk out. A bunch of trees fell down in there. So it looks like a lot of the pathways are, they're kind of blocked off. Like it looks like all that's blocked off to get up into there unless I climbed over trees, but we can walk a different way. I mean, all what I'm walking on is dry, but I imagine that it looks wet already down there or still. I imagine trying to get through this area after the rain, it gets treacherous. For a lot of the paths, I'm guessing. A random cement block. But I've never gotten poison ivy before, but I'm glad that I'm not having to figure out if I am walking in it or not. There's something running behind me. A little mouse or something. Yeah, I don't think there's a shot that they're taking classes out to these paths. This is not a... Oh, I see a little creek. You see the creek over there? I'm kind of going down, trying not to slip and fall over. It's very steep. But yeah, nice little creek. But looks like it's well, it all drains down. I'm not gonna, obviously not gonna try to get over there, but maybe we turn back from this point. Still just looks really wet. Maybe if there's a really big dry spell, I could explore a little different. But found a race car. You see, it's hard to tell on video, but it is very steep getting up. So I'm sure this is not designed to be a path, but to be drainage. I guess maybe both a little bit. Getting my work in though. All these inclines. So I found the basketball hoop. Now this was slippery as well, but there's a lot of leaves, so even though my foot there slipped a little bit, there's enough traction with the leaves. If I had really nice boots, I could probably walk up that path further, but a little too far into the wet stuff for me to want to get my tennis shoes all wet. This is cool. Another way down. That kind of looks like poison ivy. I don't know what it really even looks like, but more trash over there, it looks like. A chair. You kind of see it over there. There's a mattress. That's gross. But I'm not interested about the kind of tire, free tire. If you need one for your bike. See if I can get a good view. So somehow They climbed up there and drew on that tree. Initials. That's really far up though. So I guess they somehow had to have climbed, or I forbid bring a ladder. But I'm sure this is a nice spot to walk when it's in the morning, but I bet at night people come out here to throw trash, do drugs or whatever. Plus, I mean, this would be really hard to navigate in the darkness. Look, another mattress, so it looks like a place where people come out and throw junk. But I'm guessing this is probably a good hangout spot for kids up to no good. Thankfully, at what time is it? 11 o'clock in the morning. People that are up to no good aren't awake yet. Oh, look at the disgusting mattress. At least there's this path up here, though. Oh, I don't think I want to walk down another one of the loops or hills. Yeah, well, maybe it'll feed out from the other side. It's like some cushions and a tire. But I suppose a day like today, you see the couch all the way up there, the red couch, so they threw it down here and the cushions fell off. People littering in nature. And you see like a lot of the drainage from the neighborhood will just come out through here. So if there's ever, hasn't rained a ton in a couple days, just a little bit, but if there's ever a bunch of storms, this would be an absolute danger to navigate, especially those big hills. It's a pretty neat tree. See it looped around. I'm very curious though, because this is like a very distinct path. I'm very curious, what this is exactly, or if it's just something that maybe was like a little nature thing and they just don't officially use it. It's a weird looking tree. See it going all the way up, weirdly hanging down. So it's not like set up by a person that's hanging from the tree still. I try not to slip all the way down. Little pathway. I wonder if people come out here to go four-wheeling and stuff. Be quite dangerous, but probably quite fun. There's that same creek. So I'm not trying to hop over that to get around, but you see a sewer thing over there. Big old tree that fell over above there. If I was younger and more naive, I could try to climb that, but it looks like there's another tree that's over there that's kind of... So I'm sure there are ways that the youths get over there, but I ain't trying to do all that. You still hear kids because this is all right next to neighborhoods as well, so it's not far away from civilization. And some trash down there, some tires. Those are very deep, so they've been there for a while. And a blue bag over there. Thankfully, I haven't seen anything too dangerous per se. Just random crapola. But we'll get back up to the school to walk around that, and then start. We're already at 3,000 steps too. So we'll probably get to 5,000 if I just walk back, but still feeling pretty good, so I'm not worried about stopping here. So this, I'd probably be able to walk up that end bank and get up into the neighborhood again. There might be a fence up there though. That'd be the biggest troll. A lot of kids out for. I wonder if there's a park or something that's connected. I recognize. These are just people's backyards. A lot of the houses around here are rentals, so I'm sure the people living there aren't the ones that dump the trash out. It's probably someone that used to live there and they're too lazy to take care of it the proper way, so they just yeeted it down the hill and moved on. I can't really say this would be a place I would want to go again, but if I was a kid, oh, I'd for sure be walking out here. This actually reminds me of very much of different little like wooden path areas that are around the neighborhood up where I grew up. This one certainly isn't like kept up very well, but for a little kid, I would probably be, like I was like 12, I'd be riding my bike out here all the time. Although, I wouldn't really be able to ride my bike on all those hills. It's a little too wet. But yeah, it looks like it's mostly just used for drainage. So that's probably why a lot of the paths and stuff are just not, looks like it's used enough where the paths are built in, but they're not maintained, cleared out as much. And there's trash out there. But you can kind of see the elementary. It's a really nice building. I think this is where they have the buses too. So for most school districts, one of the schools in the district, a lot of them I should say, I don't think all of them are necessarily like this, but usually they have a big empty space like I'm walking through back here. They would have a bus lot, keep all the buses of the district after they are done working. But that is really neat. I'll have to remember that spot when it's, if we ever have like a drought or something. I bet that would be a lot more fun to walk around. I kind of try to get out the other side. Maybe I'll look on Google Maps and see what's on the other side. Because there might be some impact, like with that creek, and that's not really passable unless it was actually a drought. I guess, I mean, I could just walk through it. It's not that deep, but I'd rather not get trench foot just going on a walk. Yeah, it looks like a lot of drainage that comes down in. It's even down there. Probably all feeds into there. Looks like that's a pathway back there, but I'm done exploring for now. We'll just walk around the outskirts. That's a tiny little playground. You can see some of the buses that are stored. Man, I bet just like the ELC, they use this area for field day really easily. Probably not exactly where I'm walking because it has a drainage ditch right there. But this time of year, it's like, wow, I come outside every day, but a lot of times of the year, it's just not nice enough to navigate out here. Yeah. But it looks like behind that tree and stuff, there's a whole path that you could walk behind. It's just not, grass isn't cut on it, so. That's pretty neat. I'm trying to think what part of the building I came up was. We'll find the sidewalk. And you can see way over there is where I came in from the neighborhood. So I wonder if they closed that gate, because I had a little gate there. I wonder if they closed that during school hours. Because I would imagine, I mean, at least there's going to be people parked and there could be kids out on the playground and stuff. So I'd imagine that they most likely would try to close that up most days. It's nice they leave it open when there's not school, though. It looks like it's normal stuff. Really nice building. I wonder when this was built. The school looks so new. I think this was up where I'm pretty sure I walked in the main entrance to drop off the food. But I never been down behind it. So I just was up in this parking lot. But the big question is if it's nice on the inside too. Based on how nice it looks on the outside, I imagine that it's pretty new on the inside too. Because I was only ever in the lobby, so. L1, L8. A lot of neat spots too, like that ledge you're not really getting up to, but down there in that little courtyard. State recognized PBIS Bronze Award winner. There would be my house, the gym. It's kind of cool though. It's really nice. But you see the bus lot. Should sign up and do an interview here so I can go and look around the building. Looks like another playground, more in depth than the one out front. We'll walk to it. Go see if there's any good books. But we're not going to walk up there because that's just the main road. And I don't think there's sidewalks on it. Yeah. See if there's anything good. No, there's a lot of kids' books. Wow, by an elementary school of all places, kids' books. Can't believe it. The rubber. Huh. Oh, this is a beautiful school, though. I know there's some buildings in the district that are really old. This is certainly not one of them. And we'll look down this way. So I bet this lot is where they do a lot of recess too, because they have the paintings on the ground and stuff. And it's where the bus lines are, so I had imagined that all the teachers park in the back and then recess is out here till dismissal and the buses come. Playground's really nice too. The whole thing is just beautiful. Maybe I'm just sounding jealous because my school's super old at this point, but they're gonna build a new one at some point. Yeah, looks pretty cool though. I feel like as I get caught up in that, I think we'll be able to get around. Hopefully I don't get griefed and have to walk back around the building. Maybe that'll be something to look up to see when this elementary was built. Yeah, it's got a nice little sidewalk. So it looks like it has the two main playgrounds. The little one, I'll imagine they use that for much, and then the one out in front. This, I imagine, is for daycare or for special needs kids. It's nice for some students to have a little area that is fenced in just in case they decide to run off. They're not able to. This is really beautiful. I wonder how many, it's gotta be a lot of grade levels. The building's pretty large. So I wonder if it is K-6. I know my neighbor, I had an old neighbor, and I want to say she was in kindergarten or first grade when they moved. But their grandma was saying that she was going to come here. They ended up moving away, so who knows how far they moved. But obviously the building's nice, but you hope that the classes and stuff, it has to be really new though. Like that, the type of, the architecture just looks super modern. It reminds me of a lot of like apartments when you drive through Columbus that are like the higher end apartments. I guess if they ever close the school down, it could make a nice apartment complex, at least from the outside. You can see way over there, that's where I was walking through the woods and stuff, and all around there. Well, we'd be getting our steps in. Where am I at? I'm at 4,300. So we're gonna make our way home. Excuse me. Oh, this gate doesn't even lock, so they probably never closed that. Seems like a security liability, but it's not as if that fence is that tall anyway. You can't just hop over it. Or I guess probably find a place in the woods to walk through. Sibling argument. Well, I feel that this used to be a house at some point because it has the cement foundation. I would love to be the house next to it because I could just put a platform outside and just lift there. I mean, I wonder if the house next to it, that would be like a really fun thing. So if I had that house next to it to buy that lot, which would be expensive, but then you could build a really nice like building on that. Not necessarily a house, but like a garage or something. Kids are following me. This whole path I'm walking is right next to the woods on the right. So I wonder if these people that live here could walk into the, I guess it would be down that embankment. It'd be a cool house to be a kid growing up, to go back in the woods to explore. Wouldn't be that safe, but it'd be pretty fun. And, well, good thing this kid stopped following. I mean, they weren't that old, so I could take them. You never know. It's still the neighbor, or these houses are still connected to the woods. Yeah, I noticed I gotta change the air filter for the house. I haven't been as consistent about that since my roommates left out or moved out because, I mean, the big reason to do that consistently is just because the dogs and their hair. Yeah, we're still connected to the woods. So I'm guessing it goes quite far. That's pretty cool though. I'm glad I actually used my brain a little bit and figured out that I just had to walk up the street further to get up to there because I found out a lot of cool stuff. I obviously know that the elementary is there, that, you know, it's on the main road, but I had no idea these woods had anything in them. Paths and stuff. Free mattresses and tires. Free basketball. The basketball hoop is the weirdest one. That was pretty far in. I don't know why you throw that all the way in. Look at the Kroger mobile. Reminds me I need to order groceries today too. But, oh, we got a barn back there. That's pretty dope. Like a mini barn. That'd be one thing if I got a bigger house, to have a bigger outbuilding or like a really large garage building. So then I can put all my like a lawnmower and stuff in and still have a space to train. But they got a nice little garage too. Playing tennis. Good, pretty good.
Oh, huh?
That was pretty cool. They're just playing tennis in the street. Kind of up on the incline though, but getting out, getting some sun. I mean, that's how nice it is. I don't know where the other tennis courts are. But wouldn't be any up at the elementary school, so a lot of tennis courts around are turning into pickleball courts. I don't even know where one would go to even play tennis. I ain't trying to do all that running though, that's for sure. We're almost back to the house. Yeah, but I think that, so this creek goes all the way. There's probably a tunnel and stuff, but I bet if I walked down that creek, if I really cared enough, it would go into those, I mean, it has to go in those woods. When you see the woods just continue, so I guess it just falls, it's a part of the drainage system. I didn't realize how in depth that was. I guess I should never really worry about flooding if they have that whole drainage, the whole wooded system down the hill. Morning. A lot of steps now. 5,500. So we should be close to 6,000 now, honestly, when we get back to. Those woods, that is crazy though. So I'm curious if there's other entrances into the woods. Obviously you kind of just walk in wherever, but like an actual, like a dedicated path. If I was a teenager, I'd certainly be going back and exploring the whole thing. Certainly not in the dark though, you can't see anything. You could probably get lost in there too. If I didn't have the landmarks of the basketball hoop and stuff, I'd probably be getting lost in there too. It's a very long walk though. It seemed a lot longer too because I was navigating the woods. I feel like it was this corner. Yeah, that's where I saw the neighborhood friend. Cool guy. Seeing a lot of trucks out for mowing. I'm guessing a lot of the companies or the people that own the rentals come out and mow on Sundays. It almost looks like it. I actually think it is a cat stuffed against the window. Probably a bookshelf or something. That was weird. Oh yeah, definitely. This is for the for sale house. We're almost back, so looks like I've been walking for about an hour. Talk to y'all later.